How are you guys? Welcome to the live stream. Hope everybody's doing good. Hey, I'm Claire, your intuitive reader. Uh, Hanging out with you guys, doing a live stream. It is a very beautiful day, Tuesday, California, where I am. So the first card I'm getting for the collective is Passion. What I like about this is passions are many different things here. Like she's dressed up kind of like in some kind of period costume. This person has a newspaper. So it's like some kind of passion that maybe came from the past. I'm getting kind of a past energy. And then impasse. Interesting. So this is sacral energy. So something you have a passion for, there's something getting in the way of it. There's an impasse, which is a kind of larger than life obstacle. See how he looks really big and he's got the orange cloak, and this is orange, this passion. So let's see what this impasse is for the collective. I see the sun here and then the moon in this card. So something's concealed, an impasse, an obstacle is concealed, getting in the way of what your passion is, what your celebration is. So what is getting in the way for the collective? Instinct. Okay, so we need to go up into our head. We might be spending a little bit too much time thinking about the 3D. Things are not working, the money's not coming, the job's not coming, things are not coming in a way that we are used to seeing them. And I see a whole bunch of twos in the timer and stuff like that. So, and in the time. So this this connection between what we really want and our fears are getting in the way. So we're not using our instincts. When we're in situations we're unfamiliar with, we don't trust ourselves. Because here's the moon, just like in the impasse card. The moon is there with the dark woods, and a lot of people are afraid to go into the dark, and so they're not trusting their instincts. Hi, Maria. So let's see if there's something else. Let's go about this instinct. Hopefully everybody's doing well. We're kind of doing just a little energy check-in before more people show up, and then we can get kind of a whole vibe going. Impartiality. Yes, trusting your instincts. Like, are you weighing things or are you reacting to them? Are you afraid of what you don't know, so then it's getting in the way of what, trusting your instincts? We can't know everything that's going on. And if we're constantly afraid of everything that's going on in our lives, it's going to constantly cause a chaotic vibe. And it's going to get in the way of what we want to manifest. Like, see, in this card back here, this is like the Hermit card. We have to go within and figure out what we were spending a lot of our energy on. So let's see. See if we can get some more information on this. Okay. Empress in Judgment. Yeah, we have to really think about this. Are we using our instincts to make correct judgment? Or are we basing this off our shadow self? A projection of things that we're afraid of? Because here is this wolf, and it should be very clear. It should be very clear on what it wants, but it's stuck in its shadow self. And so is she. Like it's coming out of her. This is what's trapped inside her. And so this instinct of going and going, well, what if this happened and what if this happened, is getting in the way of you trusting your instinct. And that's getting in the way of the manifestation. The Empress card here with passion and the Empress. They're both a very similar energy. So what's getting in the way is ourselves. We're going over. Hi, nice to see you too, Ruthie. We have to trust ourselves. We have to really make sure that we are not staying in this like what if energy. Like we could drive ourselves crazy, and that's very concerning because we can't know the answers to everything. And if we're like, okay, what if this happened and what if this happened, and we're not in the present moment. And when you're not in the present moment, you can't get a clear picture of which direction you're going. You're always, second guessing yourself, and you're always living in the past to a certain extent and in a fear. And that impasse is ourselves going, no, you cannot, hi, speak so well. You can't move forward because of your fears. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this decision was made and what impact it has on you? But let's see if you're going to get out of this, because this seems like the collective is feeling a lot. I mean, there's a lot of passion here. What I do like about this is the Empress has the moon and the sun together. So she's taking, to manifest, she's taking everything she does know and she doesn't know, and just being like, oh, I don't know the answer to everything, but I'm going to trust that if I'm in the present moment and I'm really following what's true to me and what makes me happy, then I'll be okay and I'll be able to create. Okay. And the Two of Cups, I was talking about the two energy. So coming together, being, in union. And what I get here is this is more like yin and yang. It's within us. Instead of being split, instead of going in different directions, becoming one. By combining the shadow and the light aspect of our personality. Okay, I'm going to clear the energy really quick. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, that feels a little better. So the collective reading is that there's a lot of passion and ability to manifest and create a world that this collective wants. Like, what world do you want to envision? Because you have to be able to see it and feel it in order to manifest it. Thank you so much, Maria. You have to manifest this into your life. If you're in a state of feeling in fear, feeling powerless, one thing I've learned very clearly is when people have trauma, this is across the board, I've noticed this, children all the way to adults. When you have trauma, you live in a sense of lack. You learn to deal with, survive with less than you should. You get stuck in a place of learned helplessness. Like you can't help yourself, you can't survive, because when you were younger, you couldn't help yourself. Everything was an impasse. Like there was no way to survive without giving up control. Like there was nothing you could do. Surrendering, surrendering your dreams, surrendering what's important to you. But as you grew older, that instinct of giving up, of needing someone else's help was still there. Even though you were this lone wolf, you didn't need anyone. You actually could do all of this yourself. One of the things I learned is I got a divorce, and I was like, and I had been in a relationship for like 15 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then I realized, I was like, oh my God, I can go to 7-Eleven and get some nachos at 3 o'clock in the morning if I want. I was like, wow, that may not seem like a big deal. But when, you start thinking that you have to go to someone and check with them and do these things, it does create a sense of helplessness. And we don't even question it anymore. We don't question whether we're better off, with our own energy balancing that out. Who are we without another person? And it's not like we want them to go away, but we should be actually a fuller person with partnership instead of less than. We shouldn't always having to be, like be impartial in our own lives and or give up our dreams. And so I see that you guys are kind of like coming together with your two sides, with this like, what is important to me? What do I want to live through? What do I want to create in the world here with passion and the Empress? What do I want to create? What do I want? What do I want my legacy to be? Who do I want people to see me as? And we're not just surviving anymore, because no matter the situation, you're not a child anymore. So you can, even in moments, in like teeny little moments, you're not stuck. It's a perception that you need help, that you need to keep giving things up, that you need to, your instinct is to kind of, be who everybody wants you to be. Now you want nachos? So, okay. Um, today feels very strange. I don't know what it is. It feels very different than the last few days that I've gone online. So, okay. Would anybody like me to check in with their energy? There's only a few people here, which is kind of different. If anybody has a question, I will definitely... I've noticed that if I like make the live at way ahead of time, like hardly anyone sees it. It's very weird. I've realized that if I just go online, like it gets more attention. It's weird. Yeah, I'm confused by that. I guess I'm pulling my own energy. I'm very confused on how like the algorithm only seems to work in some obscure way, which I don't understand. Are we basing the algorithm on AI? Or are we basing it on human beings nowadays? I'm not sure. Yay, you made it. Nice to see you. So, okay. So the Seven of Cups is coming up, and then the Page of Cups. So this is about being curious. This is about like, okay, instead of trying to go hard and fast, like we were talking about the algorithm. If you try to get ahead of the algorithm or try to figure it out, you're going to drive yourself crazy. So it's kind of like that in life. If you're constantly trying to figure out what the answer is to everything, you're never going to go anywhere, because it's very confusing. There isn't a universal answer. And so instead, if you're curious and you're like, this, I don't need to go straight for the jewels. I don't need to go straight for like these massive things, but I can actually grow from being a small fish into a larger fish. Like that growth, that path of change is extremely important, and it's part of the journey. It's how you become who you are, through trial and error, through mistakes, through being really vulnerable and honest. Yeah, it's very weird, right? Speak so well. Okay, so it looks like Maria, I'm not going to answer that question because the chances of that happening are statistically very low. There's a lot of liability, and they don't reuse needles. And so I just, I think you're like, you ask some questions that it seems like there's more anxiety going on. So I think that we need to make sure that we're not thinking with our emotions all the time, that we're thinking clearly and like stepping back and coming from a calm place. Maybe using some calming exercises before you start thinking about things that might make you anxious. Or if you start noticing yourself being anxious, really like level setting and being like, okay, I'm feeling anxious, and then thinking about it in a more holistic way of like, this is real, I'm feeling this feeling, but I don't have to come up with a reason I'm feeling anxious. Okay. Yeah, I think that's going to make you feel like you have a lot more going on, like you're going to feel like you have a lot more energy and ability to feel more balanced if you have some techniques that you can use if you're feeling anxious, because anxiety will just kind of flip around. It's like one of those things. Like if you're anxious about one thing and you can't figure it out, you're going to get anxious about something else because your mind is going, oh, there's something going on and I have to figure it out. It's a survival instinct. So let's see. So yeah, like I said, here with the Wheel of Fortune, you can control that. It's like that clock that starts spinning in your head. Like, I have to figure this out. I have to do this right now. I have to make it stop. And you can slow that by meditating, by taking a walk. I mean, getting away from our phones. I'm so grateful. I'm going to be gone for a little while. I'm going somewhere, and I'm going to get some fresh air and change your perspective. But really, like if you have something you like to pray, or if you have some kind of relaxation technique, reading, like an actual book, like sitting down and reading a book, it's amazing how that can regulate our system. If there's if there's something that you have interest in, expand your mind, because when we're using our minds, it actually creates electricity, and so that we can actually recircuit how we're thinking. When we're feeling anxious, if we kind of train our brains to listen to certain kinds of music, or read certain material, or do certain relaxation exercises, it becomes motor memory. And then you can move on in a direction where you're more focused on what's important to you. Oh, you are Christian. Cool. You know what? I know this maybe sounds weird, but I'm Catholic and a whole bunch of other stuff. But reading the Bible, I mean, to me they're parables. So reading the Bible and going, what is this the message here, the story, and relating it to something I'm going through. Maybe flip open the Bible and go, what did this passage say? And it might give you something. Yeah, me too. So that's always interesting, because changing your perspective is very important right now, so that you don't get in our, what they call, this isn't insulting because I call it myself, our monkey brain, because it's constantly chattering. It's constantly telling us that we need to do something, or that something's wrong, or that we've got to fix something, or like somebody's coming after us, or going to take our bananas, and we have to go, okay, monkey brain, hey, I'm going to go do this and focus on this. And then we get, in our wise mind, and we can move forward in a more constructive way. Because I think we all want to be calm, but we all feel a sense of anxiety because the world around us is quite scary. I mean, that's a real thing. Of course we have anxiety. We just have to learn to manage it. Okay. Well, I think you're going to be fine. They have a lot of rules about that kind of stuff. It takes a lot to be a nurse. I actually have many, many, many nurses in my family, and it seems to be a family trait. And to be a phlebotomist, it takes extreme amount of schooling, and you have to practice and do all these things. So it's kind of like muscle memory. Like, it's very rare that somebody will make that big of a mistake, because they have this, they've done this over and over and over and over again. And sometimes they feel anxious because they can tell we're anxious. I used to have the worst needle phobia, and I would scare the heck out of every doctor and nurse because I would freak out, and I would be anxious, and so they would be anxious. And so we have to understand that we are also just a reflection. So like, the people around us may not actually be having adverse feelings. It may be our feelings that we're like manifesting outside of ourselves, so that we can feel calmer, that we are not just feeling anxious within ourselves. So I don't know if you have needle phobia, but a lot of people do. You are a medical worker and a preschool educator. Awesome. I used to be a preschool teacher, and I used to be a special needs nanny. So yeah, like the techniques you would use for your kids, It's the exact same thing. When you're dealing with a patient who's feeling very anxious, it can make us all anxious. When we're dealing with kids with anxiety, it can make us all anxious. So we have to be that model, even if we're not feeling it. We have to be the model of being calm and collected, and then that gives us a little space to see that we might be reacting to our fears, and then look into that. Why are you afraid of that? What would happen? The worst case scenario when you're calmer is like, okay, but that may never happen. So why am I getting upset about it? Yeah, see, I have a huge needle phobia too. So I totally get that. So that's probably more what this is about, like just being like, oh, it is weird that we inject needles in our skin and veins. That is kind of strange. It's counter to what you might think is for the, like normal things. Okay. Hi James. You're an aquarium. Well, May 11th is not Aquarius, but yes, phlebotomy is a major role. Okay, Ruthie, you've been writing about a month and it has helped me. Yay, way to go. Okay, Ruthie, I think you were talking about even a path of change in my career. I really feel I'm going to find my soulmate real soon. Well, that's really cool. Okay, so Ruthie, would you like me to do a reading for you? Or is there someone here that would like a reading? It's kind of nice, I the last 2 times I've done this were on a Friday night and I think on Sunday, so it was very busy. It was kind of nice to just hang out with you guys. You would like one? What would you like? Okay. Thank you, James, but do you just want attention? So you're a Scorpio. Okay, see, I believe in the signs as far as I believe in psychology. I believe that people born during certain times of the year are more likely to act a certain way. Psychologically, that makes sense. And so, being a Scorpio, you have to remember what that means. That is a water sign, but it's also Scorpion. So that energy is very interesting. And when you know that about yourself, you can get ahead of it. Like I'm an Aquarius, I can become very much like an Aquarius in some ways. And so I have to keep that in mind. It's because I do think that when we're born, the earth turns, it's, got a magnetic thing and it affects us. We have iron in our blood. So all these things affect us. So that's just science. And a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. And I'm like, well, that would be kind of nonsensical because, psychologically, people born in different orders in their family have certain psychological effects. So being born during a certain time of the year will impact, your personality. Okay, soulmate. You're a Libra. Okay. Okay, Ruthie. Okay. You got the 6 of Wands. And then the 6 of Swords. Okay. I want to get some clarification on that. September 25th, 1968. And the Sun. Okay, I like this. So the story of this is that in this deck is I think she's going away from an established system group and then going into her victory. So she's being her own victor, her own boss lady. That's what I'm kind of getting, this like very strong, like female energy, feminine energy. And you're changing your path by doing that. So the first thing you're doing is really getting into who you are. Because once you get into yourself, you're going to be like, I know exactly who I want to attract. I know exactly, I can see above the crowd. You know, this is also that garland that's in the world card. So you are like above the crowd. You are in a different perspective, and you're deciding which world you want to create. So your next relationship is going to be anything but toxic. You're turning your back on anything from the past that was disruptive and toxic, and you're moving into very calm waters. But you're not just moving that way, you're actually taking, see how that the same sort of wand right there, even though this is the swords card, and you're using that to forge your own path into a very smooth, happy relationship. And it's going to be celebration. I really see that you're kind of taking any red flags that have come about and using them as seeds to grow these sunflowers, to grow exactly the kind of relationship and celebration that you want. So I think it looks really good for you. And let's see if there's anything else. Get these. Oh, and people want to know what the decks are. So this one is the Modern Witch deck. This is the Sun card in the Modern Witch deck. And I really like it because it's very diverse. Gives me a different perspective than the standard deck. I can either do a general reading. Speak So Well, are you on? Could you block people that are just here to get attention? It's just like, you're welcome to stay, but no more talking. It is free. You are welcome to donate, and I also do personal readings, and the information for that is in the description. Okay, let's see. It took forever. Rebirth, like I was talking about, you're not staying in the same kind of position. You're not staying in the same place, and you're moving forward. And so this is causing a rebirth, but not in the same way. It's like the sun, you know, is like when you plant seeds and then they pop up because the sun's shining on them. You know, the snow melted, it provided the water, it's allowing the soil to get, you know, soft so that the sun can let the sprouts come forward. And like I said, I really like this because I do see you taking all the things that have happened to you in the past, and you're never settling for that again. I mean, like, you're taking every red flag here and here, and you're using them to help grow who you are and get a great relationship, because now you know very clearly what you don't want. Like, I think we waste a lot of time on things that, like, don't feel as great for us. So, okay. Okay, let's see. No, I can just do, let's see. Did I answer? I can just do a regular reading. Merserenity. Would you like just a general reading? Okay. I knew today was going to be a little off. It just felt off. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, I had weird stuff happen today, and people's boundaries have been really off. So I was like, oh, God. Yeah, and if these readings resonate for you and you want a longer reading, you know, I do personals. Okay, Merserenity. You got the Queen of Swords. And I'm using, this is the Buddha tarot deck. Let's see. Let's see what there is going on about the Queen of Swords. Are you showing up as the Queen of Swords, or is the Queen of Swords showing up in your life? Yeah, it's been a weird day. Okay, what I see here, and then you got the 7 of Swords and the 2 of Wands. I think this is very interesting. So you're looking at some kind of, you're paying attention to some kind of information that's coming in. You're examining it, you're like, something seems off about this. Like, what is missing? And you're right, something is missing from this information. Somebody may be saying something behind your back, or you're getting some kind of information, and it's just seems wrong. Like, I would double check everything you're doing, and I especially think that because these 2 of Wands are showing up right after that, and he looks confused. He's like, I don't know which way to go. I don't know which one to choose. This is getting very confusing. So let's see. Let's get some clarification on that. The Star. Okay, so it will come to light because you are showing up as enlightenment and stuff like that. So I would really pay attention to the details. And if you're feeling confused still, if it's feeling like you can't make heads or tails out of this information, meditate. And if you can't do that, or you don't want to do that, like, do a pros and cons list, write it out. You might be missing it, go over it again, but really look at the details. Let's see if there's anything else. I'm going to use these cards. Oh, okay. Empathy. And in here, what I get with empathy here is the ear. There's something, this little bird is saying something. And so you might hear a song, or here's a dog. You might hear an alarm or something, and then pay really close attention to if you get any of these little synchronicities, because it's going to be something small that's going to set you off, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, and you're going to get it. You're going to get the answer. But you're going to have to pay attention, because it's going to be something a little small, or like a little jewel of information. Like I said, it could be a song, a synchronicity, or some kind of dog barking. Yeah. What could it be? There's a lot of confusion here. I'm just seeing if I'm missing anything from these cards. I noticed her nose ring too, so make sure you pay attention to smells too. Some people, that's how they get information. Okay. Negotiation. What I get with this card is, we have the sun and the moon. That's that confusion again. Like, is everything in alignment? Let's see. I'm not getting a clear answer. It's frustrating sometimes. Okay. Well, let's see if there's any other cards that are pulling my attention. Let's see. Yeah, here's the bird again, dissipating. So there's something distracting you from what this is. It's something you're working on, or about to bring forth, or about to produce, and there's some kind of distraction. And here in the TV, he's reading a newspaper. So there's some kind of information that's getting distraction, and there's like 3 people maybe that could be dealing with this, and trickery underneath. So yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It's something about your work though. So yeah, in this balance. Oh, this is kind of, see, 3 people again. And he's got the two wands here, and he's got the 2 scales, and then kind of in the shadow. So something about these people, these 3 people, is causing some confusion about something you're working on. Okay, great. Yeah, something about the smell. Yeah, I noticed her nose ring immediately, and I was like, that's weird. I've got to, just go with, because that might mean something to someone. And then I just saw the achievement card and criticism. So keep your eyes on what people are saying, because it might have an ulterior motive to get you distracted from what you're doing. Yeah, I just keep getting there's something you're working on. So, yep, working again. Okay, that's a lot of working information. Okay, let's see. Would anybody else like a reading? But am wondering if he has private chats. Isn't that the same guy? Oh, sure. I don't know if that was helpful, but like I said, the energy's way off today. A lot of crazy things happening, at least in my life. I was like, you know what? I'm going to come on here. It's probably going to be a little crazy and weird today. Unlike the last 2 times I've come on here, it was really smooth, even though there were a lot of people. This time I knew it was going to be a little weird. Oh my gosh, Effie, how are you? Maniba Manon Abba. I'm so sorry if I just butchered your name. That sounded awful. Let's see. You asked if there is any energy between Tamaz and I. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Well, I immediately got the Two of Cups. And so what I'm seeing here is there is some kind of energy. Let's see to clarify if it's good or bad. Because I do see some energy. I do see a connection. I do see and then, wow. Okay, that's a pretty clear sign. And then followed by the Lovers. So the Two of Cups followed by the Lovers. They're almost like, if I wasn't sure, they're almost identical cards. And this was clear. This can be in any relationship, but then followed by the Lovers. That's pretty clear. Oh, thank you, Ruthie. I'm really glad you guys are here. If you could yeah, that would be really helpful, because like I said, the algorithm really doesn't like me. The Queen of Pentacles. This is lush. This is home. This is Taurus energy. So this is a lot of like luxury and happiness and comfort. So I see this as a good sign. There's tree roots, and there's bunny rabbits. A bunny rabbit is an indication usually of a relationship, some kind of, oh, and I like this. I didn't notice this in the background, but see, here's this mountain here, and I see it as kind of like that bell curve. It's like that escalation, that peak in a story, where you get really, you build up to that crescendo. So this looks good. Knight of Cups, the knight in shining armor. So I really like this look. So we have very similar energy here of coming in with that cup. So, I mean, it looks good to me. I am not getting anything but positive feelings here about this, and there's a lot of this lion fiery energy. There is Lovers, the Two of Cups, and the only reason I'm not really showing the cards is because they get so weird about this. So the Lovers, and then the Two of Cups, and Knight of Cups, the Knight, the Prince, and then the Queen. So we have this Knight coming in to court the Queen. So I really like that. That was nice. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. It's nice to get nice, energy like that. And if you guys haven't had anything to drink today, make sure you have some water, tea, or coffee. I have both, all three actually. Stay hydrated, eat some food, do all those like boring but necessary things. Okay, so does Junior regret bullying me in high school? Why was he so mean to me? He was so mean to you because he had his own insecurities, and felt small. And the best way to make yourself feel big when you have been trained to act in ways to protect your own feelings is to make someone else feel small. Often people will bully people over anything. They'll just keep kind of throwing darts until they hit a sore spot. Okay, speak so well. I'll do yours in a second. Let's see. And if you could like the live stream, that would really help. Oh, a siren. Hey, if you're still here, I just heard a siren. So if you were thinking about anything or reading anything, that might be a sign. I hear quite a few sirens right now. So what I see is exactly. So you might have come across as more of a loner with the Hermit card here and been a little, more to yourself or a little different. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some of the best people I know, some of those amazing people I know personally, didn't fit into the crowd. But this person really wanted to fit into the crowd. And unfortunately, we don't teach people to do this in a healthy way. We celebrate meanness. We celebrate isolating others. So what I see, whether this person regrets it, unfortunately, what I'm going to tell you is they probably don't even think about you because they were not thinking about you when they were bullying you. They were solitary. They were in their own head. They were thinking about their own issues, their own problems. And it was about being popular. It wasn't about you. And that's always painful because people who get bullied, which I was one of them, they think it's about them. But what it's really about is the other person. And they're going to find anybody they can bully. And they're going to go on with their lives and not ever think about us again. On the rare occasions, I'm not saying this can't ever happen. I had someone come back and apologize for bullying me in elementary school just a few years ago. And I was shocked because I was like, oh. So let's see. Maybe they do. Maybe they've been doing introspective work. Let's see. That is way too many cards, but I'm just gonna show you because this is the same person, and this is a kid, and this is an adult, and so there might be the reason this person popped up in your head is because they might be thinking about reflecting on when they were a kid. Now that they're an adult, they've become wiser. See, the tree has many branches now. And instead of it being a cup, which they're not sure about questioning and not even sure who they are, they're having introspection. They've grown. They've gone over the mountains. Time has passed, and with that, wisdom has come, and that they realize that it's not. They don't have any of those people that they wanted to impress so much when they were a kid, and so yeah, they probably are reflecting on what they did when they were younger. Yeah, they're weighing the scales of what they did along their life. I hope this person is well, physically, because I do get a lot of introspection. So hopefully they're doing this just because they've reached that point in their life and not for some other reason. Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of introspection here. See the cats on the branch, they're staring off, almost like on those trees that I was showing you. So they're using their instincts, they're learning. And if you've done nothing else, if you can take nothing else from the situation, when you were bullied, you were someone's life lesson. That, what the actions you do, even as a kid, can have long-term effects and can really change the course of a person's life. It doesn't just change the person who's bullied's life, it changes the bullier. They will never be the same. They will never be able to really trust their instincts. And that can make things, very unbalanced with the chariot. You have to have balance in order to have the chariot move in a direction. And maybe this person is feeling like they didn't learn that. And what I see though is you're moving into the world with this cup, with this, like you're going to be yourself in this in this card, with her being the Page of Cups, she's being her own weird self, and that's okay, because when we get bullied, we'll often edit ourselves and be more acceptable. But people don't bully you because there's really anything going on. They bully you because of their own internal issues. So I see you moving past that and moving into an energy where you're really truly taking on your individual personality, you know, despite what you were bullied about. Okay, so speak so well. You have a question. Wow, you rarely ask, so I'll definitely see what I get. Okay. You have a question. You want to know if what you're actually supposed to be focusing on right now. You feel like you're pulled in multiple different directions. That makes sense. The Knight of Swords. See how it's charging forward with this information. It's not slow. It's not thinking about the action. It's going against. It's meeting a lot of resistance, though. If you can see, the wind is really pulling these red clothes back, and the tree is actually going in this direction. So the Knight of Swords is going against the against the wind. And so what I see is you need to figure out what what's important to you. What are you trying to go towards? You're welcome. What are you trying to do? Because if you're just charging against, if you're meeting a lot of resistance, you might need to rethink your plans. You might need to really focus on what's important. So, but and this card flipped out on top of it from the other deck. So the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is a fiery king, right? He's like the King of Wands, the fire element. And this is usually Aries energy. So, I've done a reading for you before, and your North Node is in Aries. And so this to me is telling you actually need to take up that and get out of your head and actually make, like, where are you feeling passionate? What does your instincts tell you? What's in this box? Like, what are you sitting on? Where's your true passion? Are you following that? Or are you pushing because you think that this is the correct way to go and the correct thing to do? Okay. Well, you need to change your perspective, because our feelings are, like I keep talking about, wise mind versus our monkey mind. You've got to change your perspective. You've got to get, yourself grounded. Are you grounded? Are you balanced? Are you feeling like you are seeing things from a higher perspective? Or are you being reactionary? Or are you stuck in your thoughts? Let's see. Okay, you might need to focus. I see some of the stuff you're dealing with is health and relationships. And also, like, there's a little house in the background. So things are all happening at once. That's correct. So if you get yourself grounded, if you work on that technique, if you even spend 5 minutes a day, a gratitude journal, or, like just journaling, like free flow journaling, what's on the top of your head? What are you supposed to, if you're going all different directions, then you need to put pen to paper. Nobody does that anymore. It's like, really, like, just take a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper. It can be a notebook, it can be loose paper, it can be printer paper, it doesn't matter. But, like, just get it down, because our brain makes different connections, and it actually figures things out when we write them out. And so, ooh, let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, because what I see here with the Six of Pentacles, you want to be generous. You want to give to all these different people. You want to give, like, assistance. You want to be there. You want to have all these different, abilities to be the provider, and, have success and stuff like that. But that can also make us feel very removed. See how these people are like down here and this person is above and all the pentacles are up there. So you're feeling kind of removed from a situation you want to feel close. And that might be affecting your health. So you might be missing signs that your system isn't in balance or your priorities aren't in balance because you're trying to juggle them. Like these look like the plates, you know, like you're trying to juggle all these different things. And this is trying to remind you that you have to take the moments to really center yourself and ground yourself. Hi, Helga. Good. That was me with my writing. Awesome. That's great. So I don't know if that helped speak so well, but on the bottom I get the Emperor. So see, when you get yourself grounded and you're sitting, the Emperor is also, there's a lot of Aries energy in the Emperor. And like I was talking, oh, they just fell all over the place. These cards are extremely slippery. So the Emperor is now grounded and sitting in that. So taking more action, trust in your instincts, not questioning yourself, because the Seven of Cups is showing up, and also the Four of Cups. So there's a lot of not seeing the signs and synchronicities because you're stuck, you know, in your head. Okay. Oh, you just went to the doctor today? I hope it went well. Okay, and if you guys haven't yet, can you please hit the like button? Today is nice and slow. I wasn't used to, I was prepared for what happened over the weekend. It was like, there was so many people in here and I was like, whoa, okay. It's fun, but it also doesn't give me very much time to connect with you guys. Okay, Helga. I'm good, Helga. How are you? What July brings you? Well, if you haven't already, please check out the video, the forecast, and I'm going to clear the air real quick. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Speak So Well. Okay. I appreciate you asking for a reading. You usually don't, so. Okay. Helga, what does July bring you? I want to use some fun cards. Unless you would prefer I not. Okay, let's see, Helga. What does July bring for Helga? The Eight of Cups reversed. Okay, let's see what that's bringing. I think that's actually kind of good. And then followed by the Fool. This is really good. So what I see from the Eight of Cups reversed here is that you like figured out an equation. Like you were thinking that there was all this, there was something in all these cups. And as you looked in each one, they went around this machine, this mechanism. You realized that actually the answer wasn't in these cups. It wasn't with other people or other situations. It was within you. And so you're moving away from being attached to situations that aren't working for you, that are maybe more linear, that are more in like, this is the way things go, and go around the circle, and we do the same thing over and over again. And you've kind of figured out the equation. You know, you were wondering what the answer was, how to move forward, and you realized it wasn't with any of these past situations. And that's great because you're leaving that behind and you're coming forward with the Fool card. This reminds me of Mary Poppins, the chimney sweeps. Like you wouldn't expect them to be dancing up there and stuff like that, and flying through the air. And I see that you're letting go of these structured, strict adherence to the way things have to be and how you have to express yourself, and your creativity, your emotions. You're moving away from that. You're realizing that the normal equation for doing that isn't working for you. and you're moving into the full energy. And this may appear like to some people like, what are you doing? Like, what are you a fool? And you're going, sure, you can say I'm a fool, you can think I'm a fool, but I actually see from a higher perspective. Because remember, the fool is up on a cliff, or in this case on a roof, seeing everything from a higher perspective, realizing that just because I see smoke, it doesn't mean I have to go put out a fire. It's actually a fire, it's a fireplace, it's heating in those homes. And the only reason I say that is because you're not going places and cleaning up other people's messes, especially when they're like kind of like starting a fire, they're starting conflict, they're starting stress. You're no longer in that place. You're not going to anyone's rescue. You're not going to mop up or fix their problems anymore. You're actually looking out into the horizon. You're ready to take off on your new adventure. So let's see if there's any other information. Three of Pentacles, and this is allowing you to move into a different situation where you're working on something, you're working on yourself, you're working on the inner knowing, because like there's like some place that people can go in, and there's tarot cards and more plans. So you've created your own plan for success, your own plan that works just for you. And I mean, I really like that. I wouldn't mind this this reading for myself. Three of Wands, exactly. So you're going the direction that you want to go. You got 2 3s, Three of Pentacles and Three of Wands. So you have a lot of ideas, and this being in this new energy of not adhering to someone else's ideas of who you should be and how you should behave and what you should bring into the world is allowing you to create what you want in the world and see new horizons. Okay. Well, this might be a slow day, and so I might just call it, unless there's someone here that would like to ask a question, you're welcome to. If this is today, hey, this is today. You're welcome, Helga. Anyone still here that wants to ask a question or hasn't already? If you've already asked a question, I might be able to answer more on your inquiry or something else. One-time line question. Sure. What? Go ahead. Wondering if my home environment will get worse. Let's see. Hi, Effie. Let's see. What I'm seeing is these are the 2 cards that flipped out. The 8 of Wands, and then the 8 of Cups was underneath it. So I see that, you know, you're going to have to kind of remove yourself from any conflict if you're going to stay in this environment. You need to move away from this either emotionally or physically, because I do see that there's a lot of conflicts going on, and it's making you feel like you don't want to deal with what, you know, all of this. I see that there may be a change around August, maybe even August 8th. I remember you were mentioning something about moving in August. So let's see. Hi. Hello. Nice to see you. And the Ace of Cups. Yeah, this is an opportunity. See, you're not staying in situations that aren't serving you. So even if you don't physically move, I do see that there's going to be a massive change about what you will tolerate and what you will, you know, stand for. No matter if you physically move or not, emotionally, internally, you're going to move away from the situation, and this is going to lead you to be able to have a cup. I see that there is something in this cup, so you are filling it up. It's not just an empty cup. You're not moving from all these Eight of Cups, which are relationships, situations, emotions, but it's going to take a lot of work. And look at how long the staircase is, and it's going up, up, up. So doing a lot of introspection. If you're in a situation that's not working for you, making sure that you're staying grounded, making sure that you are doing the internal work, and that you are really taking care of your mental health right now. You know, don't be tempted to use substances or anything to help you with this situation, because that's just going to make it work. And I see that you're going up this very steep staircase, and things are moving very quickly, so that could make you a little less sharp as to what's going on and what you want to move forward. I also see a vine right here. And to me, that's saying something's growing, but it's growing kind of slow. It's the Ace of Cups. It's just the first step in that. You want to move, yeah, mentally draining. Yeah, and I think what you're going to have to do is practice. You're going to have to practice putting into yourself, into your own self. Like put that mask on, you know, like when you're in an airplane and the air mask come down. You got to do that first. Drink water. Make it really basic, like making sure that you are getting enough sleep, making sure that you are eating, you are drinking regularly, that you're taking care of all the self-care things. If you have children, that you're taking care of them, the basic needs, and really put one, you know, foot in front of the other. And instead of looking at it like everything's coming at you at once, instead, you know, picking up each stick one at a time, you know, taking each step one at a time. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, are your finches sick? Where do you have your finches? Like, where do you have your finches? Okay. You retracted that. Okay. Okay, let's see. Nothing wants to come out of there. So let's see. I'm going to get a Places card, see if I get anything from there. You felt the slow movement? Yeah, it's like it's gotta move very slow. But that's good, because if you slip on these stairs, all the work you're gonna do is you're gonna backslide. So move with purpose. What I get here is moving with purpose and slow and steady, and then, you know, taking care of yourself. Okay, I'm saying, even if you have to get out, like if you have a car, spend some time, just go out, go on a drive. Like, just spend some time alone. Like, even if you don't have a car, go someplace and just park yourself and be, you know, be yourself, even for a half an hour. Especially if you're in your living environment, get out. You know, like go for a walk, go somewhere, sit down, you know, go to a coffee house. Because what I'm seeing here is you're going through a lot of grief and loss, and being in the same place is bringing up these memories. So it's this constant flood. It's like this heartbreak place. So you might want to instigate that, like go somewhere private and then make yourself cry. Make yourself go through all the pain that you're going through, so that you can get it out and move forward. Like, I kind of see the cup like that. Like, let yourself completely experience and feel what's going on for you, so that you can move up. Yeah, the temple. Like, if you have a religious place, you can go there as well. I'm just seeing a need to really pour into your cup. And if you are religious, this might have something to do with, you know, some kind of communion or cup in that way. Okay, that's what I was getting for you, and you're working on this though, so just keep it up. I know that's really hard when things feel overwhelming, but take it 5 minutes at a time if you have to. Okay, let's see. Who? Okay, that person retracted their message. So let's see. Jagasia. Okay, I'm really bad with names, so I am going to see what I get. JAG. Nelly. Hey, thank you, Nelly. I was just listening to a Nelly song that I forget what song that was. Let's see what we get for you, Nelly. Hey, Ernest. Okay, Nelly, let's see what we get for you, Nelly. The hanged man, even though it's a woman. So it doesn't matter, it's feminine or masculine energy. Okay? And the devil. Okay. What am I getting here? And then the chariot. Wow. 3 major arcana. So something happening right now. You're needing to stay very balanced because something is coming in very quickly. It's going to activate some kind of repressed or like you haven't been thinking about this issue in a long time, but it's going to bring up something painful. And it is going to come in pretty quickly, so you're going to need to make sure you're staying very balanced, grounded, really centered in who you are, because this is going to activate something deep inside you. You may even want to, lash out a little bit. Or react out of character if that's not something you would do. Let's see. Okay. Wow, this is crazy. This is a crazy reading. Because you got Temperance, another major arcana, Judgment, another major arcana, and then the Knight of Wands. Like I said, this is going to come in really quick. And I was even thinking Judgment because I saw that there was 2 X's, there was 2 10s. So I was thinking Judgment. I was like, what's going on with that? And so when this comes in, this is going to be a foundational issue in your life. And this is kind of a warning. You've got to stay grounded, because when this comes in, it's going to feel like it's coming out of nowhere. Like the snake, it strikes very quickly. You might not even see it until it's right there. And here with the Knight of Wands, this acting kind of out of character, out of reaction, reacting in the moment. So make sure that you're staying very grounded and very balanced. Oh, wow. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to see if there's anything else. Music. Okay, so I was asking, what can you do? Music is very important, and that's so funny because I mentioned Nelly before, and you might not like Nelly, the musician, but I do. But there's some kind of music or message in music that's going to help you in this situation. You may hear a song, or you may listen to certain types of music that'll help you stay grounded and get you back in alignment. Oh, you haven't been feeling well. Yeah, I'm seeing something going on. Yeah, this is like the snake in the grass. Yeah, it's really affecting you. I don't know if something's going on with your feet. I'm seeing multiple feet here, or your ears. Let's see. Support. You don't feel like you have support. Who is this? This is for JAGASIANP. You have feet issues. Okay, yeah, you're not feeling supported. Maybe even by your own body. And so you need to change something. I'm getting the music is more about, there's something you're not listening to about your situation, and you're actually getting a lot of support, but maybe it's kind of falling on deaf ears. Like it's not reaching you for some reason. It's not resonating with you. So something about water. So I don't know if you believe in taking salt baths or something like that, or getting near the water might help you stay balanced. So yes, sorry, Nelly. Sorry about that. Divine guidance, new beginnings, and power. Exactly. You have the power to change the situation, but you've got to listen to whatever you do to pray, or whatever you do to pray and stay grounded or meditate is really important right now. You live by the sea. Okay, if you can get by the water, I think you're going to get, and just listen to the sea. Listen to what it's kind of telling you. Remove, every time you start thinking, really focus on the sound of the water. Because I think you need to get balanced, because there's something that's trying to tell you something about what's going on with you, but it's coming in very quickly. So it's important that you pay attention to things as they come up. And the High Priestess is at the bottom, exactly. Another major arcana. So what I'm seeing is definitely you need to get centered. And once you do, you'll have the answer. She has a book. You pray all the time? Great. Great. And then so keep that up. And if that's not working the way you're doing it, mix it up a little bit. Change something. Make yourself a little uncomfortable, because you might get an answer as you're getting more uncomfortable. You might actually pick up on something that you're missing. Yeah, because like here with the Six of Wands, this is about being above things, seeing things from a different perspective, and having victory. But you have to figure out, what exactly you're missing. Writing would be great. Yes. Yeah. But I would actually just go down to the sea and not do anything. If you can, leave your phone at home or put it on silent and don't pick it up. Because I get more that this is like, when you just listen to the ocean, it clears your mind, and then something will come to you. If you think, and then after that, you could write about that experience and something else might come out. But, in that moment, I would definitely just focus on, listening, because something's trying to communicate with you. And if you have feet issues, I would definitely address those, because there's some kind of not wanting to feel the pain of your feet is keeping you from being completely grounded and rooted to the ground and rooted to the earth. And because it's painful, it's a reminder every time we ground, that reminder in our mind of pain. So dealing with the fact that we're connecting our physical body to our spiritual body, and that's going to affect the way it's we're experiencing it. Yeah. Hi, Kat. Oh, hi, Crystal Ball. Sorry, I was like in somewhere else for a second in my head. I'm gonna have a little bit of coffee. So if you guys haven't already, could you click on, double tap the screen? It should like the video. It helps with the algorithm greatly. Yeah, suffering pain in your feet will really mess you up. And so you've got to figure out the feet. Often also, you may be having neck or back issues, spinal issues, because that can really affect our feet as well, because it throws off our pronation, issues in your hips. And then also making sure that you're wearing supportive shoes, or, so, okay. Hi. So does anybody else have any questions? I really appreciate you guys being here. Is there a message from Spirit for me? Kat. Let's see, Kat. Oh, okay. Ernest, I'll do yours next. Okay, Kat. I'm going to use a different deck, because that card keeps wanting to come out. And I like getting fresh information for you guys, not just cat. So Message from Spirit. Okay. Let's see. You got the... My throat just closed up. So this is good. I'm going to see how this comes out. Interesting. Okay. So you got the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is about charity, is about giving, is about generosity. It usually means that we have enough to be generous with, or at least our perception is that we do. And this has something to do with something you're working on. There's a lot of senses involved here, a lot of action, a lot of work involved. But the Five of Swords is showing up, and then the Nine of Wands. And so what I see is there's kind of like an issue with something you're not seeing. I don't know if it's someone doing something in the background, but they're causing a lot of work on or defensiveness in your life. Their thoughts or words or something that they're doing in the background is messing with your vision of what you're creating. And this is causing more hardship. Then you're, instead of taking the wand as, you know, like bringing forward a fire of passion, it's turning it into the Ten of Wands, which is about burden, which is about doing things in a way that takes a lot of work and leads us into getting stuck. And I see here too, there's a beetle. So kind of it's bugging you, like what this person is doing. It's getting in the way of your manifestation. Who is canceling your message? I don't know. Okay, let's see. So let's see if there's any more messages for you. The Four of Pentacles. This is the foundation of who you are. See here we have the beetle here and the Four of Wands here about the foundation of who you are. And so like whatever they're doing to mess with your work, your manifestation, your thought process, how you're able to show up in the world of being, you know, there for other people, it's because they kind of fear, you know, how strong you are. Like they're just showing up as this beetle, right? But you're showing up as this beetle with wings and talons. So you're a different kind of person. You're a different kind of visionary, of worker, of what you create than this person is used to, and they feel intimidated by that. So they add, you know, they might add a sly comment, or they might add a little extra burdens or work to your path if this is at work or just in your life. So let me see if there's any messages from the angels. Self-acceptance. Yeah, you have great ideas, and so it's important that you accept who you are, because people are going to say stuff and they're going to try to get us to doubt ourselves and be defensive and stay put and not grow, because for some reason that's just what people do, or they have incentives to do it. So you've got to accept who you are, and when you do that, you're going to be very free and open. I can't even show you this card because of that. So I see this as this going to change the very foundation of who you are. That angel had wings, and just like this beetle. So you have divine guidance. What you're working on is very important, and the universe wants you to keep it up and be aware that there is someone kind of making things more difficult. You're welcome. Okay, so Ernest wanted me to just pick a card. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to get a new deck because I've been doing this for a while today. Get something fresh. Okay, Ernest. She is alive. I don't know. Okay, Ernest, I got the Seven of Pentacles. And for some reason, this deck, because I don't use this deck all the time, it says failure. So let's see. I need to stretch. I have not stood up in over an hour. The Prince of Dis. The Prince of Dis is the Prince of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is very slow but steady, confident energy. And so I think there's a lot of self-doubt going on with you right now. Like something you're working on is causing, you're like, oh my gosh, is this going to manifest into what I want it to manifest? And this is saying slow and steady wins the race, because you're moving from the Seven of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles with this Knight of Pentacles. And so your work is going to be successful, but it's going to mean that you're going to have to churn. You're going to have to stick with it. You're going to have to keep working even when it's seeming like it's not going anywhere. Yep. Okay, and then you got the Six of Cups, which is about is pleasure in this deck. And so, yeah, I mean, we often, when we reach that point in any project, work situation, relationship, it doesn't matter what it is, and it just gets hard. It just gets like it's the work, it's the slog, and we have to decide if we're going to put in the effort. We're going to keep doing it on the days it's not fun. On the days it doesn't look like it's going to manifest what we want. We have to keep sticking with it on those days, because it will lead to success. It will lead to this feeling of feeling very happy and stuff, but it's not going to feel like that all the time. And that's the point. The journey is about the hardships so that we can contrast them against the happy times, the pleasurable times. Okay, let's see if you get anything else. The Princess of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. And the Princess of Swords is about new ideas. The Page of Swords is all about like venturing out, thinking outside the box. So maybe that's what's going on. You're going, you're like, you keep working on something, and it's like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for so long. It's got to be successful. And what this is saying is you might have to change something just a little bit, even the way you think about it. Instead of, like I got to the point where I had some horrible jobs, and I was like, you know what? I hate this job. I don't like this situation. I don't like, and I don't like, I used to work as a special needs nanny, and sometimes I didn't like the situations I was in. But I changed the way I thought about each step that I took. And in doing that, I got out of this feeling of like, oh my gosh, can I just get out of this? Like, I can't wait till the day's over. It was just like each thing I did, I was like, okay, I'm going to look at this in a different perspective. And that's what I kind of see here, that you're going to have to find the pleasure in the boring, in the day-to-day. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. Not in that deck. Let's see if they get you something from here. Okay. Pride in medicine. And so, yeah, like, you may not like what you're doing, but you're like, oh, well, this is beneath me, or God, I've been doing this for so long, or, and you got to have pride in whatever work you do, because our attitude is our medicine. The healthier our attitude is, the healthier our thinking is. That's the true medicine. How we come at things with love, how we come at things with understanding, acceptance, and have pride in every single thing we do. That's going to really help you move in from this failure kind of feeling to this pleasure feeling, even doing the same exact thing if you only change one or two things. we have to kind of trick ourselves. Like, you know, if we're doing a horrible task, we have to trick ourselves into thinking that we want to do this. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do the best job at cleaning this person's toilet. If, you know, in the instance of being a maid or a house cleaner, it's like, I'm going to do the best at this. I'm going to, you know, do the best at this, you know, being working at a fast food place. I'm going to do this the best I can. And that's when we show up like that, no matter what we're doing, it really does change our outlook and change the way we are in life. Okay. So Sam C, or did I get oh wait, Jasmine Romero. So I'm a little confused, Jasmine. You said that, why did I have a dream last night about a friend? And you said the person's name. She is alive. Is that what you're saying? Do you not normally have dreams of people that are alive? Or are you asking, is she alive? I'm not really clear. You're saying you normally only have dreams about people that are not alive? Or I'm very unclear, sorry. I want to make sure that I can answer the question you're asking efficiently. Let's see. Let's see what cards I have in here. That one's already out. Okay. I haven't seen her since 2 years ago. I don't know why she's popping up in my dream. Okay. Let's see. I get the feeling that she is going through some kind of like exploration of her past, of how she, you know, like something may have triggered her to remember a past situation, something that that made her have a memory. Let's see. We'll see if I get any cards out. Oh, here we go. Okay. The Two of Earth. Yeah. So she was going internal. See here, here's the tree roots and the bears and the den. So I think she was going through the Two of Earth is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is about balance. So something in her life wasn't feeling right. And so she's introspecting, digging beneath the surface, digging below, you know, what she can observe, and going within and really looking into this. This reminds me a lot of the Hermit card. So let's see. And that's why a lot of people pop up in our mind, because they're thinking about us. The Messenger of Fire. So I think this is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands is about bringing forward some kind of action, of idea. So maybe this person is working on something and it's bringing up a past situation where you guys might have had a struggle or a difference of opinion. You didn't see things the same way, and this has caused kind of a shadow in her way of dealing with things. So it's something she's, because I see two kind of shadows here and here. So this is the relationship may have ended in a way that it wasn't clear on what exactly was going on, and so that created kind of a shadow for this person. And since, you know, and then I also see this kind of looks like a this kind of looks like a pentacle, so something in the 3D, and it's got a bug on it. So 3, the sun. Yeah, something came to light. This person, see, even they're holding that sun there. Something came to light. They had some kind of realization, some kind of like something that's really deeply buried, and they weren't okay with it just staying buried. So they wanted it to, and it came to life, and they're either you know, and what it might be is that you're transforming and you're metamorphosizing and you're going through journeys in your sleep. And so this person came back in because they're showing you that you have changed so much. Like over the time, like compare who you were back when you knew this person to now, because they're showing, you know, you're showing up as these butterflies and this bird. Last time had boyfriend and I said hi to her and her boyfriend, and then she hugged me. Then I never saw her again, and I want to reach out to her, but I don't think it's the right time. I would trust yourself. I would use your dream space to have that kind of communication, because if it's meant to come to the surface, it will. But you've got to feel really good about it, because you're not in the same place, and neither is she. But she may be a little stuck, and or kind of dealing with kind of shadow aspects of her past right now, and so she may not be in the same place you are. So dealing with that in your sleep space, you know, really helps. Whew, I just got really warm. I have no idea why. And the temperature went up too. Crazy. It should be getting cooler right now. Okay, it looks like did I get to everybody? Wait. Oh, Sam C. Are you still here, Sam C? Until I get Sam C, I'm going to look and see if I get anything for Jasmine. Justice. Yeah, I think that this this situation is coming up in your dream space, and she is, because yeah, you kind of felt like something was a little off. I mean, like, if you guys hugged and you reconnected, why didn't something grow of that? And what I'm saying is that you're just not in the same places. So it wouldn't be a balanced relationship at this time. So dealing with your feelings about that situation right now, until it comes forward, until it feels like it's the right time to move forward, because that was the same kind of pentacle that he was carrying. You'll know when the right time is, if there is a right time, or it might just be time to move on from that situation. Not everybody is supposed to stay in our life forever, and they are just sometimes here to teach us a lesson or help us move on and transform. So that might have been this person coming back in, might have been a sign to you that you've actually transformed and changed into a different person than you were. Plus had lost a friend of ours last year. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's really, really rough. I'm very, very sorry. Losing friends is really hard, whether you lose them through, you know, them passing, or you lose them through changes. Okay, Sam C, do you just want me to pull cards for you, or do you have a question? I have not pulled any of these today, so I'm going to see which one we get until I hear from Sam C. I hope you guys are doing really well. If you could like the live stream, comment, turn on the notifications, subscribe if you want to. I knew that some of my friends were not meant to stay in my life. Like, I had her toxic friend that I had to have leave my life because it wasn't healthy. Exactly. I mean, that's transformation, though. Realizing that you are no longer, you know, I read this this little meme today, and it said something about like, what if the last step in me getting healthy or having my ascension was telling you to F off? And that's very true. Like, we can't change and you know, transform and then still have the same unhealthy people around us. Exactly. See, spiritual quest and enlightenment. Exactly. Like, as we transcend, as we go on the spiritual quest, we can't take people that don't resonate and won't help us grow. And that's not cruelty. That's just growth. Okay. Sam C, is new love coming in for me? Let us see if new love is coming in for you. I'm just looking for a deck, that if you wondered what I was doing. Okay. And I'm going to use I love this deck. Wait, I gotta do the whole. This is Tarot of the Sacred Kingdoms. It's a really cool deck. I love it. It's It's one of my favorites. Okay. You're welcome. Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. Okay, what I see, you asked about new love. So there's something that is below the surface. There's something you need to deal with. It is like it kind of haunts you. Like when you're alone maybe, or when you're feeling a little vulnerable, or when you're feeling like, you know, here's a lone wolf. You know, out there with the moon. The moon is about things that are not obvious, that are not, that are kind of concealed. And what I see concealed is the Five of Cups. There's some kind of situation. It doesn't have to be love, but it's getting in the way of you bringing in the love that you want. Because you're focused, there's these two cups back here. Wait, there's a lot of cups. This is a very different one. But there's these cups here that you're not noticing because you are focused on other things that have hurt you in the past. You go kind of into yourself. You kind of like hide. You kind of pull back when this is triggered, when whatever this is brought back into your 3D life. And this is going to, once you deal with this, once you turn around and see that you have all this manifestation and you really face it and like go within and deal with this issue, yes, I do see a lot of success. I do see love coming in here because the person you're going to attract, you are either showing up as the Nine of Pentacles. In this card, I'm seeing someone who's new, transformed, dealing with internal issues and really working on themselves and bringing in manifestation. And then the King of Cups, this light, this bright light. So I don't know if you, because I'm kind of getting this might be you with the Nine of Pentacles. When you go through this dark night of the soul, when you go in this mountain, when you go in there and really deal with what's deep inside, hidden within you, and you're going to come out bright and transformed. And this is going to attract someone that's very bright, very in touch with their feelings, grounded, and can manifest and can attract. You want to go through this dark night of the soul first, so that when you come out into the light, that you're attracting this bright person. Or it's vice versa. This person is going through a dark night of the soul, and you're showing up in the King of Cups energy and waiting for them because they might not be there yet, or you might not be. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I love you too. Okay. TV shows one online. Are you still here? You asked if about selling stuff online. That's fine, but you got the isolation card reversed, and so what I'm seeing here is that you need to diversify. Because doing something in one area is going to be very limiting. It's going to keep you a little removed from your clientele, your base. So doing some field research on exactly what you're selling, see if there's a market for it. Even if you're doing that online, going into different platforms, going into different websites and seeing what they're offering, so that making sure that you're not staying in a lane, like because that'll be very limiting. Because you get kind of pigeonholed or stuck in a career or a line of products that aren't going to work for you. So let's see what else. Doesn't know. Okay. Drama. Yeah, because the thing about selling online, there is a lot of drama. There's a lot of red tape. There's a lot of things to deal with. There's a lot of issues that can come with it. So making sure that you have everything in alignment and that you've looked at all the legal implications, taxes, stuff like that, which which platform or websites you're going to work with. It'll save you a lot of drama, because like here, what I see is this person's got their hand over their head. And so this is kind of the red tape, and there's more red here. So a lot of red tape is going to cause a lot of conflict, and dealing with what is your risk, you know, in business. What is your exactly drama customers? What is your risk here? Like, you know, have you looked at what's going to happen? What profit margin you have to make? And you have to make sure that you're submitting to all the rules. We have to be willing to follow the rules, and willing to, you know, deal with all the red tape, deal with all the hurdles, deal with all the stuff that's going to come into our lives. We can't feel like it's going to trap us to do that. And you might have to submit something in order to sell, or, you know, have you looked into LLCs or how to keep your identity protected? Okay, let's see. Yeah, making sure though, you know, here with the inspiration card, making sure that you look at what other people are doing. You know, people have already made a lot of mistakes that you can actually save yourself from, instead of, you know, like, use your inspiration for your ideas, but use tried and true techniques. Watch videos about how to do your specific business. You know, look at other people who are doing very similar things and see where they're having pitfalls and where they're having successes. And if you know what the 12th house is, I don't. The 12th house, you might want to look that up, because the 12th house has come up twice in me pulling these cards. So I think that's going to be important to you. And the rest of the cards added up to 12 again. So 12th, whatever's in your 12th house is going to be an area that you really need to focus on. You can go on Astrology Cafe and get your birth chart, and then look up what is in your 12th house. Whatever's in your 12th house, that's going to be an area that you really need to focus on, especially when it comes to business. This business is going to bring up those issues. Okay. Sam C, many thanks. I feel like I have dealt with the past, been in the darkest places, and have come out of the other side. So I was probably just giving you confirmation, because it was a journey from the moon card there, through the mountain, into the 9 of Pentacles, through that pathway as the butterfly. So yeah, I do feel like you're going to be attracting something, especially if when those old wounds come up, you can see the other side without having to go through it each and every time. So if there's no one else, I'm going to do a little, here, I'm going to do an energy clearing real quick. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You're welcome. Good luck. You know, good luck. I feel it's good. It's just like making sure those details are always what people hate about business. It's not the fun part. It's not the excitement part. It's the day-to-day drudgery and all the red tape and rules and things that nobody wants to deal with that really get people. But underneath the deck, though, the Phoenix just showed up. So I do feel like you're going to have a lot of success as long as you do that work. You know, oh, and see, and then I just split it at the 9 of Pentacles. And so we were just talking about that with Sam C. So, you know, everybody's going to have a lot of success, but it's like with the Phoenix, you have to like burn everything to the ground. You have to rise from the ashes, because if you have any doubts or any things that are getting in your way, it's going to impact your what you're manifesting. Because if you see fear, if you see failure, if you see all those things, that's what you're going to create in your world. Okay, so what I'm going to do real quickly is, if there's no one else that wants a reading or has a question, I'm just going to get some basic energy for the collective. And my mouth is getting stuck together because I've been talking for an hour, almost 2 hours. So let's see, to close out, what the collective is, what's coming in for the collective. It, if you haven't, get around, move around, you know, get your body limber. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's a weird day. Such a weird day. Yeah, just a weird, weird day for me. Okay. Guides. Okay, this is a great reminder for everyone, and I also see 7 in the chat. So guides number 7, and we're in July. So we really need to make sure that our emotions are clear, that we are focusing on what our guides. If you know, if you believe in God, you pray what God is trying to convey to us, that we don't get stuck in you know, like overwhelmed by our feelings, that we're removing ourselves. Like, this is just for confirmation for people. And when we're in a place of fear, that we trust that everything is happening for us, whether we like it or not. And that's a painful thing to acknowledge, that when things are good, we're like, yes, this is happening for me. When things aren't great, they're still happening for us. We can't have it both, you know, we can't have it both ways. We have to accept the good and the bad, because it's all here to teach us, you know, and help us transform. Okay. See if there's anything else for the collective. And if anybody's here and you haven't liked the chat already, could you please do that? I'd greatly appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I'm not getting anything else. Let's see if there's any other cards from another deck. Oh, hi. Okay. Let's see. I'm not getting a lot. Okay. Okay, well, we got government buildings. So, yeah, I think in most places our governments, the political atmosphere, but specifically here in the United States, is really tense, is making people feel like they're like underwater, both financially, emotionally, just, you know, it's overwhelming. It feels like you're drowning. And this is saying that in every moment, taking even just 5 minutes, 5 seconds to ground ourselves, that everything that's happening is when we see it from, you know, a perspective of further back, we're going to want to make sure that we stayed calm, that we stayed, you know, grounded in who we were, and listened to the signs and synchronicities that came up. Let's see. Hi, Hannah. I am doing well. How are you? Would you guys like me to answer a question for you? I can do that before I leave, if you would like. Okay. Court. Okay, so maybe this is really for the collective. What I see here is there's going to be a lot of stuff coming up. You know, there's going to be some kind of action. And when it happens, everything's going to be clear. There's going to be no illusions, and it's probably going to involve governments and courts. In the fact that there's, you know, once all the grime, the corruption is brought into the light, and I see this happening soon. This month is going to be very interesting after the full moon on the 10th. And what I see is a lot is going to come to light, and there's going to be justice. And not in the way that people think, though. I think that this is going to be pretty quick. It's going to be like, you know, come in and there's going to be some kind of massive change. I'm not really sure what it's going to be, but I do get that there's going to be some kind of mass. Okay, well, I just got cemetery. So someone might pass away, and this is going to change a lot, but it's going to be quick, and maybe hopefully they don't drown, but you know, they may just be drowning in the truth. And it might be the end of them. They might not actually physically die, but this is going to have an impact in the government and the courts. And I'm seeing a judge here, so maybe that's important for what's coming up. In the collective, I get this message, unlike the other one, is for a greater collective, like, you know, more public. Okay. Hopefully it's not really that kind of ending. Could be just political. Okay. Let's see. You would like to S Dunbar. Would you have a specific question, or would you like me to just pull cards for you? Yeah, I don't like getting political on here, but sometimes the messages come out and I'm like, okay, fine. Someone needs to hear that. Well, what I just got for someone, and I'm not sure if this is for Hannah or S. Dunbar, because I was looking at both your things, or it could have been for Effie. Amazing. Oh, I'd like to ask whether I need to forget about the possibility of a romantic relationship with someone I know. Should I forget? Yes. Yes. Okay, this is your message. Yes, S. Dunbar. So I got the star. You're showing up as the star, which is a gorgeous energy, which is like the star is after the tower. So the star falls to earth, and the star, is the water bearer and brings, balance to things, information. It's an air sign. And then this person is showing up, or the situation is showing up as the Five of Pentacles. So the Five of Pentacles is about lack, is about not of being outside. And so this situation is going to put you in a sense of lack and move you out of your star energy. See, they're kind of the same person, but she is like alone outside of everything, and the pentacles show that this is outside, outside of a 3D situation. And then you got the Wheel of Fortune. So if you don't go in this direction with this person, you will stay on, you have a choice, of course. See, because the Five of Pentacles here has the gears too. It can move the Wheel of Fortune in that direction, or it can move the Wheel of Fortune in this direction. So you have to decide which way you want to go. It is your choice. Like, if you stay in your star energy, you can move the Wheel of Fortune into a positive direction and manifest. But if you stay in this Five of Pentacles situation, then it can move the Wheel of Fortune back and stay stuck in cycles and karmic stuff in a sense of lack. So I don't think the situation is really giving you a sense of moving forward. It's going to kind of keep you stuck. Yeah, and you need to move very fast. Being the star, stars move very fast, but you have to have this balanced energy of the Chariot. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, and Hannah, let's see. Is Spirit giving you any information? Let's see. Hope you guys are doing well. Like I said, if you haven't already, press the like button. And if you want a private reading, my information is in the description. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles, but I first got the Hierophant. Yes, okay, so you asked if there was something from Spirit, right? Yes, so Spirit here is showing up as the Hierophant. This divine authority. It's telling you to focus on something like yourself in your life, like your creature comforts. Maybe you've been really busy and you've been neglecting your physical comforts, your environment, because this is Taurus energy, and Taurus is all about those, home, comforts, luxury, and stuff like that. So it feels like, Spirit is telling you, hey, it's time you focus on you. Focus on your environment. you know, making sure everything is feeling, you know, you've got, you know, like tulips and the bunny here. So like that it's producing a feeling of comfort. And I feel like that's the key here. The key to what's going on with you is making sure that you are, you know, treating yourself like in this divine energy. Because see, even the Hierophant and the Queen here look very similar. Same crowns, same robe, but she has her heart here. She's using her heart instead of just her, you know, spirituality. So bringing that divine spirituality to yourself in the physical world. Okay. And here's the Fool. So yeah, like here's that red energy again. So using that to bring this in, you know, if we spend too much time with the day-to-day drudgery and stuff like that, we forget to have fun. We forget to enjoy ourselves. We forget that we manifest from a place of being open and free to opportunities that come in. And you may be working so hard, only focused on, you know, like making money, making survival, that you're forgetting that you have to treat yourself like the Queen. You have to treat yourself in, if male, female, it doesn't matter, but you have to treat yourself as though you are, you know, you're sitting in the throne, you know, in the earthly body, bringing forward, you know, what spirit wants you to. Oh, thank you so much. That's such a nice compliment. Okay, so yeah, I do private readings. It's in the description, my email, if you would like to book one. I would love to give you one. I enjoy doing the readings for one-on-one because then I get to tap into your energy and actually answer all the little things that I couldn't get to during these quick ones. Okay, so Larry, I'm going to answer your question, then I'm probably going to go get some food or, you know, just stretch. I constantly tell myself I'm going to stretch during these, and I never do. Will I marry Lita Ford? Let's see. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Hannah. Well, you got the Two of Swords here, and then, you know, let's see where the Two of Swords brings us with that. Hi. And then the Emperor. Two of Swords and then the Emperor. So one of you is showing up very, very solid. Very, you know, like plays chess and has all the moves mapped out. And another person is a little like not paying attention to the signs. So one of you is very, very grounded, very thoughtful. Hopefully it doesn't mess it up. I forgot to turn off notifications. So somebody, one of the people in the situation, it's either you or her, is we're back, yay. And the other person is not really grounded or balanced. They aren't really paying attention to everything that's going on for themselves. So, and I just saw 1221. So there's kind of this inverse of people here. I'm not getting that this is a match, because one person is like looking at like 10 steps ahead and is really focused on their life. He has an ankh on his arm, and, you know, with the chess pieces, it's very balanced, very solid energy. And this person has an inverted scales on their arm and is like blindfolded by their own choice. So I see that these are very opposite people. Yeah, and that's keeping things stuck, because it's never it's a great idea, it feels good, it's great to think about, but in the 3D world, in the world right here, it's just not happening. I just don't see that these are balanced. There's always going to be someone who's waiting because they're much more solid, they're waiting, they're patient, even when they're passionate, they're patient. And this person is a little more dissociative or scatterbrained or not wanting to see things clearly. So I don't get a great feeling about this. Yeah, and then I split it, and then here's the Eight of Swords. Here's this person. It's just gonna get worse. They're gonna like they went from being just this blindfold right here to like this. And so it's all in their head, but until it's not in their head, they can't really move forward. And this would just cause a tower in the situation, because these are so drastically different. So, yeah. Okay, is there anyone else? You are welcome to ask if I can get to it, but I'm getting tired, and I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. I would really appreciated you being here. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that little notification, and most importantly, just come back. Will Tara and I be together again? Okay, I will answer your question real quick, and then I will go stretch. Stretch my legs. I see that you're going to be happier and more successful by yourself. Whether you listen to that advice or listen to yourself, or that little internal voice that's telling you that you're more successful and more grounded by yourself, is up to you. But if you do follow that, if you really follow your instincts and go along on your own path, I think this is going to lead to celebration. You're going to have more fun, maybe spend some time with friends instead of by yourself as much, because when you're alone, you're thinking about this person a lot, and then they're turning more into a larger aspect of your life than they actually were. And when you're around friends and celebrating, it gets you out of your head, and you're able to see that you actually have more freedom, more joy out of this relationship. Like, it's like looking at the past and seeing something brighter than it was. Yeah, and I see if you really are in this successful self-empowerment stage and really putting the work into yourself, it's going to manifest into a lot. Like here we have the 10 of Pentacles. So you can bring in someone, but I don't see that it's this person. This is just going to cause more defensiveness. Small things are going to get blown out of proportion, because you're going to be moving away from a very successful, happy energy with this person who's kind of like only focused on what they're creating right now. They might only be focused on sex or some kind of physical manifestation, and that's not where I'm seeing you. You're more into celebrating and being active. So you're welcome. So I will I am going to get going, because I've been on for over 2 hours, a little longer than I was on the other day. If I will be going live again, hopefully. I seem to have more success on the weekends, because I think people are around. that helps. Tuesday night's probably not the best to do it, but I really enjoyed seeing you all and sharing in your energy. And if you would like a private reading, I have my information in the description, and I've really enjoyed having fun with you and exploring, and yeah, like really feel it. Like I just pulled this card and I've never pulled it, and I really like it. The Queen of Cups here. Really feel yourself. Like what resonates for you. If you're not happy doing something, then don't do it. Because it's, unless you have to, like if you're a parent and stuff. Like here, I just got the Empress card. But feeling yourself, I got that for quite a few of you that really enjoy, giving to yourself at this point. Feeling exactly what you're doing, because otherwise it's going to lead to confusion. And we want things to grow. I mean, like part of moving forward is like that death and rebirth process of really looking within of what doesn't resonate with us and what does, and then moving forward. So I love you guys so much. And I'll see you guys again soon. Okay, bye. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Oh, let's clear the air real quick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. So, okay. Bye, guys. Bye.